there's gonna be a lot of testing that we need to do because this software touches a lot of things, right? Like it has the capability to destroy a database essentially. And because of that, I'm really apprehensive to start merging stuff without appropriate testing being done. So, in an ideal world, you've got a software development team. In the world that I live in, we've got you guys. So let me give me a minute here. I got to go get my dinner here too, real quick. That I've been waiting on for like an hour. Fucking pizza, right? Like you think it would be you just put it on a motorcycle and it comes over here, but this is Pattaya, so you know how Pattaya is. So let me do this. So I don't know if you've ever used like SyncToy or something like this from Microsoft or other synchronizing applications, but the whole concept is to look at files, like external hard drive or something you do backups on, and you want to look at diffs, like hashed different volumes and stuff like that between the files and figure out what's changed. You don't want to just in the discretionally copy everything because that's the wrong way to do things. You want to kind of do an inventory, figure out, okay, this folder's got 3 files that were changed in it. Somebody updated them. I'm only going to copy those 3 files. I'm not going to copy the whole damn folder, right? Microsoft OneDrive does this also. Well, in IP, we have this problem, right, where we don't have the ability to like do any sort of surgical updates to data. We either have the ability to copy the whole DAT file over, just like replace the whole damn well, right? Or we can like go through the process of like trying to export LAS files and things like that, and import them into the new well. It's a nightmare, especially for contracting. Like Diamondback maintains a master database, and all the work that we do needs to find its way back there at some point. So what I did over the weekend is I wrote another piece of software to sort of handle this. It's a synchronizing software, right? And it does sort of a left to right synchronization, or right to left rather, where you've got a source database, you've got a master database, and when you load the database button here, what it does is it looks at the data in both of them. Okay, and then you match wells, and it explicitly matches wells on API number. Okay, so if the API numbers are wrong, everything doesn't work. That's our responsibility to make sure API numbers are correct. So if they're correct, they're all the same number of digits, all that stuff. There we go. So it tells me I've got my source well, I've got my master well. Then I can diff them, right? And by diffing them, what it's doing is it's looking at the parameter sets, mineral solver, clay volume, all the curve data, right? Everything, user program parameters. It's looking at the 2 wells and finding what's different between them. Okay, and it takes a bit of time to do this because it's a little bit slow. Because it's doing a lot of comparisons. When it's done, it gives you like this report, right? So I can look at this report and I can see for this Maybe well, for example, it tells me what the status of whatever it is that I'm looking at, and it tells me what it is. So it says in the source database, there's a new curve set called DS with 1 curve in it in that well, right? There's a new curve set here with 15 curves, SATs. So there's no SATs curve set in the old well, but the new one there is. And then it says in the master well, there's actually a bunch of curve sets that do not exist in the source well. I don't have to do anything about that. It's a great amount, right? Because they're already there. And then it tells me I've got some new curves, right? So these are like, I computed some M's and N's. I got a new saturations program I ran, right? I modified some curves. It tells me what happened, values differ, units differ, whatever, right? Ran mineral solver, it looks like, right? I got new values for all the mineral solver model curves, mineral solver curves. And then if I go all the way to the bottom, it tells me my clay volumes changed. Saturations programs different, mineral solver interpretations different. These are binary data, whatever. So now what I can do is I can select out of this list what I want to merge. Right? Maybe I do all of it. Maybe I only do a little bit of it. Maybe I do none of it, only the mineral solver thing. I don't know. It's up to what you're doing, right? And then I tell it from the policy that I've got here, what do I do? Do I overwrite everything, completely replace it? Or do I create suffixed curves where it puts the curve in the same set, but just puts a suffix on the end of it, like underscore RB or whatever, right? Or do I suffix the curve sets themselves? So instead of just having a whole shitload of row B curves, row B underscore CD, row B underscore PK, I just have curve sets that are different. So I can go into those specifically and I can make plots and stuff, say, why is this mineral solver different than the other one? That's easier for me than to have 25 different phi T curves in my one mineral solver set, right? So I pick my thing. I've already diffed it. If you right click on here, there's a bunch of options too, where I can drop all this stuff to disk as well and things if I want. But then I can execute my merge if I want to go down that road, right? And I can select what I want here. Be careful, right? Do I want to merge everything? Do I want to merge just this one well? Okay. So now it's going to say, as I go to merge it, I selected suffix the curve sets with RB. It says, wait a minute, guy. You already got curves in that well. Curve sets called underscore RB. You already got them. So now, what do you want to do? Do you want to overwrite those or do you want to stop? Okay.
Okay.
Understand so far? Everyone, including PNP? Okay. So say, for example, I wanted to cancel, say, oh, I don't want to overwrite that. I'm going to put an RB1. Okay. Now I execute the merge. Now it doesn't give me that message because there is no RB1. So now it tells me exactly what it's going to do. It says, look, I'm creating a new curve set, edit RB1, eval RB1, final RB1, blah, 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 right? I want to make a new mineral solver interpretation called mineral solver underscore RB1. New user program, blah, blah, blah. New tops RB1. Everything's going to get a name to it. All right. Okay, got it? And then I merge it. So now it's doing the merge. It's grabbing everything from the one well and it's dumping it in the other. And it gives you a post-merge report now. It says, did anything fail? No. Did I copy everything? 26 things. Here it goes down the list. There's the results. Now, if I come over this fucking well all day today, I had to play with that thing. If I come over to this database now, we merged the maybe 139, right? So I can load this thing. If I look at my curve sets now, look what I got in here, right? I got mineral solver RB1. Okay. Et cetera, right? Now I go into mineral solver. Okay. I got my models and everything in here just as is. To load, right? And I have to look at the dates and stuff, and like some of these things are calling them backups, and I don't know. Here's one that was from the 2nd of May. I can load. This is that particular model that was copied over, Same like if I want to look in here, I can open that up. It's got the parameters, right? Everything in here. I can see what was used. That was from the 3rd of July. some of this stuff, I still gotta, there's bugs and stuff, right? Like the way that it's naming things and. So what we need to do. What I need you for. Is to do some testing,
Test.
right? So. You know, what we need to do. Is. Create some fake databases. Right? So we'll have our master and we'll have our source. And we need to do like some specific tests to see how this is working, to see if if it's working properly or not. So first thing is take a well, any well, I don't care, pick a well, right? Pick one with an interpretation. So it's got mineral solver, it's got V clay, all that stuff. Copy the well, let's call it well one. Right?
Yeah.
Copy it to both databases. So now at this point, these two wells are exactly equal. There's no difference at all between them, right? That's step one. Right? Step two, run the program. Compare them. It should say 0. Nothing to change because they're perfectly equal. If it doesn't, then it says like, oh, you got 7 new curve, like something's fucked up, right? Program's not working right. It should say 0. Empty set, null set, right? Because these two things are perfectly equal. Then go into the source well. Okay. So you change mineral solver. You change V clay something. You change row B. I don't know, right? Say change something. Run the program again. See if it's equal or not equal, right? If it says, oh, I picked up all those changes right there that you made, okay, then merge it, right? So let's call this well 1 plus now, right? So I've changed my well. It says, yeah, I merged it. Now go into this well and physically verify. All 3 of those changes have been made. Do what I just did, right? Look at the names of the top sets. That's the other thing. You can change tops here too, right? And see if it copies a new tops, right?
Yeah.
Do all those things and verify, make some notes like, well, it copied mineral solver, but it calls it mineral solver backup or whatever. Like, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, but at least try loading that parameter set, see if it loads the models in the mineral solver. If it doesn't, like that tells us if it's working or not. That's one test right there, just one test, okay? Test 2, I have well number 2, right? Well number 2. These are exactly equal, or sorry, not equal. These are exactly equal wells, nothing different about them. I make changes to well 2. Okay, I changed something about well 2, and then I try to merge. And I do an overwrite. Here, I select my default policy as an overwrite. So what I want to do is verify that the changes I made in well 2 are overwritten exactly by this original copy, right? So like say, for example, I changed my bulk density over here, my mineral solver, okay? This copy used to be the same, exactly equal. So if I make those changes, I run the merge and I check this well again and the changes are still there, it didn't work. If the changes are exactly gone and these 2 wells are equal again, it worked, right? Make sense? Yeah, so we got all kinds of this kind of testing to do because I am not running this fucking program on a customer database and destroying 5,000 wells worth of data, right? Until we are absolutely certain that this is working properly. So how this program is going to factor in the future is just like this. You're going to work Hobo Gypsy project, right? P&P, there's P&P, happy as can be, smiling away. Look at them. They're going, oh, we're doing petrophysics here. Utamus, right? And then they finish Hobo Gypsy, okay? That gets merged to my main database, okay? All those changes get merged and pushed to my main database. I then push all those to Fang, their main database. And then dotted line. There's Daniel, right? He says, oh, love you, PNP. See all the love? There's just love everywhere,
Mhm.
right? Now, if the program destroys all the fucking database and all the wells are corrupted and shit and parameter sets are missing and everything is lost, then Daniel angry, right? And no Myra, right?
Okay.
So we need to make sure that we test it before we go further with it. So we need to test lots of things, right? New curves, new curve sets, one left to right, right to left, using the different things here, right? Additive only, overwrite, all these things, make sure they work. Test the fuck out of it. I'll be testing it as well. And just pick your favorite wells. Make sure you copy them to a new database so that you don't lose anything, right? Just like I'm doing here, I make my new temp databases, run this thing, and check it out. And you should have reports as well that come out of this. If anything happens you don't understand or whatever, you can do the reports, save them or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So I believe where is that thing? Here it is. Copy link. So here's the program, see if you can run it. But this is like massively important that we get this right, because having to do this by hand, as you can imagine, is not fun, right? Because I mean, it's not just the log data that's got to be copied, it's the parameter sets, it's everything. So the fact I was able to get this program over the weekend, you know, to actually do, which was very tricky actually, getting the full parameter sets out of IP is not easy, right? Getting all these mineral solver and V-clay and everything else. So the fact that we were able to do that with the API is actually astronomical. Really important. This is something that should have been done years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, I should have written this program, but I never had time. And now we really need it. So with every one of these projects that we do, you know, we can pull the data out, put it back in. It's not possible for us to put a 5,000 well database on OneDrive. Can you only imagine, right? It's just going to choke and die trying to deal with that size of a project. And the other nice thing about it too is once we merge all these things, we can start deleting all these old databases, right? We don't need them anymore. And that frees up space on our hard drives, which are full. Okay. I also just met with Corey, so there's still you know, desire to continue this Barnwood thing with the tops. I'm waiting for them to come. The Core Lab, Core Facies thing, we still have the extraction problems there. I'm still waiting for a WellCAD license to produce some spot checks on that. ML project, we need to present that at some point. I'll probably make you guys do that when we're at Midland. We'll set up a conference room for all the Diamondback people. They can come and PNP can present that one. I don't see any reason to do it. I mean, we got 3 weeks, right? We might as well just wait. Try to do it between now and then. What else?
opinion.
Yeah, keep going on that, right? Like that needs to get done. So,
Okay.
but, all right, because you're gonna have to present that too while you're out there.
Got it.
PNP gonna be expert presenters after Midland. Yeah. That's all right. We get you a cowboy hat. You can wear a cowboy hat in there and say. What y'all up to this morning? Give me a holler if you don't like my analysis. This is the P and P. I say I'm P number 1 is P number 2. We're gonna wrestle us up some petrophysics today. Yeehaw. Any other questions, concerns, comments? Nothing? Okay. Go forth, be productive. Talk to
Okay,
you later. Yeah.
okay.